and other side. Oh my goodness.
Hey guys, so I am joining Shawna in the recommendation game. I'm going to make my own official recommendation for the 20-week transformation, but mine is not a book. Mine is a podcast. It's a great podcast. I'm listening my way through it right now. It's by a friend of mine actually named David Vanderveen. Here, I'll put the logo right up there. And it is awesome. It's basically just about creating the life that you want, really deciding what you want your life to be like and how to create that life for yourself. And it's awesome. And I can tell you from having known David for many years that he actually lives these rules that he talks about in the podcast. And I will actually tell you a story about David that I don't know if even he knows. I don't know if I ever told him this. I'll have to send him a link to this video. But I used to work for David, actually, and he said something to me one time that really changed the way that I viewed things in business, and it's something that I use to this day. And he actually said it the very first time that I met him. Okay, I read this article a few years ago about how women in business many times will use softening language when they state their opinions. They'll use things like, well, a lot of people think that, or, well, the general opinion, or what experts generally say, rather than just saying what they think, because you get a lot less pushback that way. And in my job before, which was I was a consultant to brands and companies for social media strategy, traffic generation, search engine optimization, things like that, I definitely found that to be true. And this was way before I had even read this article. But when I read that article, I realized that I really had conditioned myself in most situations to dance around just saying exactly what my opinion was. I used a lot of softening buffers in my language to make what I was saying more palatable and less kind of confrontational of this is what you should be doing and this is what I think. So David was asking me about my methods, my philosophies, this kind of thing. And so I talked to him like I had conditioned myself to talk to everyone. And after I had said a few things in that way, he just looked me right in the eye and he said, "But what do you think?" And honestly, it kind of took me aback because literally no one else had ever asked me that question, ever. It really changed my worldview of how I looked at things in business and how I phrased my ideas. And the more that I interacted with him, the more that I saw from his just the way that our conversations would be, his body language when I would talk to him, that he didn't like it when I danced around things. He liked it when I would just be direct, be authoritative, say what I thought. And training myself to speak that way to him really helped me to train myself to speak that way to everyone. And to this day, I use that as a lens for communication. If I'm writing an email that I just want to be very authoritative, if I'm speaking in front of a group of people, I literally will think to myself, how would I phrase this if I was sending this to David? How would I explain this if I was explaining it to David? And when I think of it that way, my whole demeanor changes. My voice lowers in register. I speak more clearly, more concisely. That story is an aside. It's not what his podcast is about, but it's kind of a personal connection, and I thought that you might be interested in it. So at any rate, check out his podcast, Kick Aspirational. He's a very fascinating thinker, and I think that you will probably get a lot out of it.
Hello guys.
Okay, so part of the 20-week transformation that I'm doing is for self-care, and I teach Zumba, and every time after I teach, I look like a raccoon or like I went 20 rounds with a boxer, because I'm just like, my lashes, the mascara just makes me look horrible. So I used to get by the beautiful valet. Hello, valet! I used to get my eyelashes done, but then, you know, life happens and all that stuff, and so then I stopped. But gonna take care of myself again, and so I'm here at Boho Beauty. It's lashes and brows in Tarzana. I highly recommend her. She is amazing, Valet. She's awesome. I'm gonna show you guys around a little bit. Okay, so this is before, and you guys will see after. And Valet, what are some of your services that you do?
I do eyelash extensions, eyelash lift, colored lashes, brow microblading, permanent makeup as well with the dermal pigmentation. So
awesome. Okay, all right guys, before, and then you'll see after. Hi guys. Okay, so I just got done, and this is the after. As you can see, they are very pretty. Love them. So we got to take care of ourselves. Even moms, even when stuff is really stressful, you just got to take the time, do something for yourself. Treat yourself. Parks and Rec. All right. Bye, guys.
Hey guys, so this is my nephew Joey. We went out for an awesome meal tonight at a super great vegan restaurant. Everything healthy, and it was beautiful, and we had a great meal, so very excited.
Okay guys, so I am at the gym, and Kahana, one of the girls in our Club HEA, said that she was going to challenge herself to try to do the splits like Christmas. So that's what I'm going to do too. So I'm going to show you guys where I'm at now. This is week 5. All right guys, splits. Let's see, middle split. Another side. Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll see.
So this is the new thing that I am starting to incorporate this week. I just got off of it. That is why I cannot breathe. It is called the Bowflex MaxTrainer. I have had it for years. It costs a lot of money. I have never consistently used it. That is all about to change. Wish me luck. I feel like I'm dying.
Hi guys, so last week, or this past week, I finished Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. That book took me 2 weeks to finish. So what I'm going to start doing is tell you what I'm reading for the next week. So for week 6, I am rereading The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It's one of the books that I have in my staple of books that I just constantly reread. And I always get excited when I am going to be rereading that one. So I probably read this book like 10 times, and I love it so much. So that's what I am reading for week 6. Feel free to join me. We can talk about it in Club HEA. It's an amazing book. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend. Okay, bye guys.
Okay, so I found this juice bar here in Burbank that will sell these big jugs. That's actually 64 ounces of super green juice that has celery and kale and spinach and wheatgrass and just every green awesome thing you can imagine, and plus a little squeeze of lemon. So that's 64 ounces. So I bought these beautiful mason jars. They're Pioneer Women. I bought them at Walmart. So thanks, Ray. They're gorgeous. And I'm going to split the 64 ounces into the 4 mason jars, and then that'll leave room at the top where I can pour in an energy drink or whatever I want to make it a little less green tasting and a little more palatable. But this is going to be an awesome way that I can really keep the green juice going.
I was not planning on making this video today, but reading your guys' emails and messages that we've been getting a lot of since we started the 20-week transformation, just kind of you guys telling us, explaining like what has happened in your guys' lives that has just made your health and your fitness be the last priority. You know, losses of jobs, losses of loved ones, you know, kids, marriages falling apart, health issues, financial issues. There's just a lot of things, and I have been writing everybody back. Once I sat down today and I was writing like probably the 10th person back, just to kind of try to encourage them. And I thought, so this is the 10th time I'm writing this email that's very similar to other emails I've written back. I should probably just make a video. I don't really go into my personal life that much on social media. If you know me like a one-on-one basis, then I'll tell you what's going on with me. But you know, as far as just in mass, I don't do that. But I've had a lot of struggles in my life, a lot of health issues. My husband has MS, and diabetes. My son has MS. Between myself, my daughter, my husband, and my son, we struggle from things that range from depression, debilitating headache, PTSD, anxiety, panic attacks, just all sorts of things that, you know, I kind of stuff I'm dealing with on a daily basis. And then life has just come in, and life has a tendency of just coming in, and it can kind of wreck shop. I'm getting a lot of these emails of just people saying that they feel alone, and they feel like they're drowning, and they feel like the walls are closing in on them, and then they also don't feel like themselves and their bodies anymore. And I really, honestly, truly can relate to that. And I just really want to encourage everybody. Number one, you're not alone. It doesn't matter how alone you feel. You are not alone in this world. I promise you. Number two, I know that it can feel really overwhelming, and I know that life can really come in and just make you feel like you're drowning, or make you feel like you can't keep going on. So I have two little tips that I want to give you guys, trying to make this as happy of a video as possible. Number one, every day I set my alarm on my phone, and I give myself 5 minutes. I set it for 5 minutes, and I do it in the bathroom, or if I'm down in my car, or if I get a moment alone in my room, I let myself feel any feeling that I'm feeling. If I'm scared, if I'm sad, if I'm mad, if I'm frustrated, if I'm just scared is a lot, just like how I'm getting through all this. But if I'm, you know, if I'm confused, if I'm worried, just every negative feeling that I might feel, I let myself feel that for 5 minutes, and I really give into it. I let it, any thought that comes in my mind, I let myself have that. And then once the buzzer goes off, that's it. I'm done. For the other 23 hours and 55 minutes of the day, I don't let myself have negative thoughts as much as possible. I mean, as much as I can tell my mind no. I just don't allow it, because I can't be productive if I'm letting my brain be negative. So what's my next step? Okay, what am I going to do to solve this? I go into problem solving mode. I go into just putting one foot in front of the other and just keep going. So that's the one tip I want to give everybody. I used to give myself like 20 minutes, and that was too much, because I would go down like rabbit holes of just you know, sobbing. So I was like, it's too much. So now I just give myself 5 minutes. That's the number, but whatever is good for you guys. And then the other tip that I want to give you is, a long time ago when I was just dealing with really scary health issues. I had 2 small kids, a marriage it was my first marriage. It was not a good marriage. Really hit a place where I truly didn't believe I could go on. I was telling my mom, like, you know, sobbing. I think I was on the kitchen floor, just like, I can't do this. And she gave me a piece. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna wake up and do this tomorrow. I don't know how I'm gonna wake up and do this. She said, don't think about that. Just think about getting through the next second, and then think about getting through the next minute, and then the next hour. And she said, because what happens is seconds turn into minutes, minutes turn into hours, hours turn into days, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. And pretty soon you look back, and it might not all be good, but at least it's all behind you. For some reason, that has gotten me through so many health issues, so many struggles, so many crises in my life. I have just 1 second and 1 minute in my way through so many things, and it's helped me. I don't know if that'll help all of you, but I will say this was a really tough decision for me and Melanie to make, doing this 20-week transformation and putting our private lives kind of out there. And as uncomfortable as it is for us, we are so happy that it's touching so many of you and that it's inspiring you guys and that it's giving you a community again, and you're not feeling so alone, because you're not alone, I promise. So I love you guys so much. I hope that helped a little bit. I tried to keep it positive, as positive I could, but there's like crappy stuff that happens in life. You will get through it. Like you will. You're gonna get through it. You're stronger than you know. Everybody's stronger than they know, and we're all in this together. So I love you guys.
Hey, so Shawna's not feeling good today, so we're doing the weigh-in separately. I am being filmed by my awesome mom who is visiting. Hey, Mom, say hi.
Hi.
That was very charismatic. Just kidding. Oh, and Pepper, of course, is helping with the weigh-ins as she always does. Oh, she chose to go by the cameraman instead of the topic of the subject. I don't think she understands how show business works. Okay, so fingers crossed. So last week was 276. Here we go. Oh, it stopped on 203 for a minute. That would have been a nice week weight loss. 75 pounds in 1 week. But 270. Oh, there goes Pepper participating. 270.6. That's awesome.
Okay guys, so this is week 5 weigh-in. I was trying to get 30,000 steps per day on my Fitbit. I made it 3 out of the last 5 days, so I'm hoping that shows in the weigh-in of how hard I've been working, but you never know. We'll see. All right, let's do this. Ready? Okay, last week it was 143 point something, and this week it's 141, so that's good. I'll take it. All right, guys, see you next week.